guys, welcome to the second video. I'm gonna use magnetic high-tech forms, of course, because it's so much easier to use them. And technically you could Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of the second week, a long almond nail. So I'm gonna use magnetic high-tech forms. And I'll show you what I'm doing with them. So first of all, I'm going to remove this central paper. Oh, come on. There you go. I cut off this perforation, so you can see better what I'm doing. I'll turn it around. And I stick it back here, making sure it's stuck straight. And I remove the centerpiece and leave it. Why am I doing that? So I instead of turning it around, because I need to pinch the form to a certain point, it will not pinch if I just flip it over, right? Now I'm checking the curvature. The form will go almost straight, just a tiny bit up. Again, because it's my middle finger, but usually you would apply it higher like this. So you can build the straight nail out like my finger goes, the black finger goes in the background. Right, so you need to bring the form higher up. And see, where do I need to to cut my form, sorry. Here it is a second line from outside, and here it's a second line from outside. So just do it right away before I apply the nail on, the form on. Of course, you can apply the form support as I did before, but it's just so much easier with these forms because they have metal background inside, like metal foil inside, so I don't have to do it, and carefully bring the form in. Okay, not too high. Now I decide how far am I gonna make my nail. And you see, if you see that your side wall of the form is wider than your nail, like here, can you see that? It is wider. You need to pinch underneath of the nail so it's not wider. So I make my nail probably until the 6, 7. So I go one line further and bend it. And double check the angle before I, oops, sorry. So my center line of the finger, that is way too high. Yeah, that's perfect. And again, I'm taking the spatula and iron my side walls flat. One side and the other side. You pinch. Make sure it's straight. And I'm taking pink power gel. Oh, and of course I will apply again the glue. foil glue. And just wait until it dries. I'm making sure that the form is completely pinched underneath, so nowhere it is wider than on the top here, and always pinch here. Okay. Using a brush wipe, an oval brush number 8, and a prep and wipe, I will use my power gel. Power gel has more oligomers, as I said before, so it's a gel, it's not an acrylic or poly gel. It is more gel and is a very flexible product. It is different to work with, it has less lifting, so it's a fantastic product. And Magnetic has its own lab where it's producing all the products. So see, when I bring it up, I see that the too much product is in the stress point, so I take it away. But I make sure that I have enough product here on the side, 45 degrees angle. Here on the end and on the side, the same. And looking from the front again, I have to make sure that I have enough product on both sides, so it's very even. I pinch again right underneath here, because I don't even have the form support, so this nail has to be pinched perfectly. I'm risking a lot doing this such a long nail without a form support. Okay, cure 10 seconds. And here I will use my magnetic pinching tool. Oops, sorry. It's not enough. Cure a little bit more because it's not fully cured. Make sure the whole nail is fitting in this little V-shaped pinching tool, and go for more. You can build it in parts or in one full ball. That's what I will try to do. I make first the extension and then we'll add the cuticle, so the product doesn't run into the cuticle. It's still somewhat runnier product. If I sit like that for a little bit, it will start to go somewhere, so it's not completely not movable. And again, I have so much product. I have too much product. I already had enough, so probably we'll just use the excess for the cuticle. Yep. and tap, 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 tap. If you use alcohol for this gel, it seems to lift a lot faster, and it gets much wetter, so you don't want to do that. So ideal is prep and wipe. From everything we tried, we decided that prep and wipe is the best. And you can see a little hump there, so I can just wipe it off right away. You can see I'm always making it with grids, so I have like side, side, and top, and then I can just wipe it off. So I don't have to file much. I prefer to work with a brush and not with a file. Looks good, good. Take off a little bit. And cure. Too much. That's. Whew. Got a little bit too hot, but it didn't cure on the side here. So I had to go like 3 seconds and then take it out, and then another couple of seconds. And perfect. Go in and pinch. Now I'm using the sides of the pinching tool, and that's why not every type of pliers will work. The pliers will with the ridges inside will not work. So Magnetic has those special ones. Don't says Magnetic on them. There you go. They have very flat insides. Once it's cooled down and it's perfectly shaped, too much product on this side, I pinch it again. So I know it's not focusing, just trying to figure out how it's the best way to pinch it so it's not over pinching and it's not under pinching, and it's what's going on here, so it's not opening at least. Okay, and again wiping off the sticky layer. And filing. This will not file much, I guess. Where's my sticker here? So we pinched it on this side, but okay, filing straight. And holding the finger. Let me bring it a little bit higher. Here you go. Don't move. Here you go. Straight first. Straight second. Absolutely straight line. And again, I will do the same thing with the ruler than I did before. I will put the ruler on and want to see straight lines. Put a new sticker on my file, it's not filing anymore. File around the cuticle. File the free edge. And file the top again. The same thing. The same idea. Now connecting them. Sorry, it's too dusty. Large. I will add a little bit product here, I think. It's missing a little bit of product. Okay, nobody is perfect. I'm just trying to figure out what happened here. It's just over pinched. Okay, so there's a little dell in there. I don't know if you can see that, right on the bottom, right there. So it's a tiny, tiny little bit over pinched. I think I'll add a little bit product and then it will be fine. Just file to the end, so everything else is good. I don't have to bring more product anywhere else. And I have just enough product here. The spatula. Huh, I knew why I didn't clean it. There was a reason. I don't say anything because I don't know what to say right now. I'm just trying to figure out how can I fix it myself. Just making sure it's not getting inside the nail, because then it's curing and it's stupid to file out. Okay, we'll cure it. Okay, continue filing. Yeah, perfect, now it's gone. I haven't done Russian almond in a while. But many of you have seen me at the shows with the Russian almond around, right? So with the time, I'm just getting better and better at them. But I usually did them with acrylic. And I will do probably next lesson using acrylic too, so the girls who are using acrylic don't feel left out. And again, where's my baby wipe? Oh, here it is. So I want to see picture. Of course, with the gel, probably not necessarily on the white background, but something darker. And I will put my ruler on there to see that my upper arch goes straight, but my lower arch goes tiny little bit down. So the tiny little bit down. You need to file and make sure that when you do like this, that both of your arches are go in the same height. So I want to see the free edge and how straight are the lines. Oh, can you see that little bump there? And now I will show you my Tinkerbell. So if you're working on a client, of course you need to put now some nail cleanser or prep and wipe or something. Okay, doing again the same thing. First thin coat, very thin. Perfectly around the cuticle. It is so pretty. And cure. And the second coat I will use just the brush out of its own to show you how you can apply it thin. And of course glitter polishes you have to shake very well. I just bought the cheapest shaker at on Amazon and it just works perfect for me. Right now I'm shaking with my hand, but if you're working in the salon, shaking every gel polish whole day is very hard. So now very little amount. Take off a little bit from the brush Then get closer. Now, because we already have some product at the cuticle, you don't have to come that close with your brush. So your product is absolutely straight and even out of the cuticle. It is hard to apply sparkly gel polish on a structured nail because you have to make sure that you don't overload the gel with the nail with the product. And again, with a little brush, I make sure that I take off the excess here, so it's not clumping underneath there, because that's what makes your nail look thicker and wider. Probably even turn it around. And make sure your side walls are clean. Don't cover them with the gel. And the free edge too. If you want them being covered, just sculpt them with a colored gel or acrylic rather than covering. We'll get there. A couple more weeks to go. We'll also do French one day, a beautiful, actual beautiful French. I'm excited. And again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet, and share the videos and photos with people if you have beautiful photos with the hashtag Nadia Beauty Marathon. Supreme finish improved. And again, checking with the light. My screen on the camera is way too dusty after the filing without the vent on, so I don't know what you can see, like how good you can see that, but both of the nails are very nicely shiny. There's one dull. What happened? Did I touch something? Oh no, it's a new gel. It's a new gel on top. I have to take it off. And again, same here. I would like to see picture from the side, from the top, from the front, and ideally also with a blick. With a blick, somehow, beautifully to post. And then from the side, from the top, and from the front. From the top also, don't send pictures from here, send them from the actual top. A little bit top coat on here, that is too much. You can see that, so it's making the whole look of the nail on this side also thicker. I don't know if you can see that, so I prefer to file it off. Yeah, I didn't even cure completely. So when you buff around, make sure you're not killing the edges again. It's gone now. So next try. That's better. Okay, I'm waiting for your homework until Sunday.